I wasn't the biggest guy. And I remember thinking, okay, whew, that was hard, but I'm gonna not bend over. So I made that my thing. I'm a kid, I'm thinking ninth grade, 10th grade, I'm not bending over in practice. I'm not gonna bend over. At all. This is it. You get your names on the back of your jersey. You're playing in front of the crowd, you're in college. You start realizing that this isn't high school anymore. I had never been away from home, didn't have a car, I wasn't going a lot of places. I was okay not knowing. I was okay going in the environments where I was like, I don't know these people. Because I always took it as they don't know me either. They have no idea what I can do. They have no idea how I train or how I work. I was born in Lawton, Oklahoma. Mother worked for the government, father was in the service, in Fort Sill. But we lived overseas for a little bit until probably I was 4 or 5. And then we moved to Fort Dix, New Jersey, got stationed there. And then I think my father got out, and then we moved to Williamboro, New Jersey. And Williamboro was a suburban place. Every fifth house looked the same, okay? You had a driveway, you had a garage. And my mother and father from the South in Danville, dirt roads, and a lot of things they had to endure and things they had to get to where they were. And we were the first African-American family on our street. And so when you're growing up in the 60s and 70s and you're growing up in Williamboro, New Jersey, the school was integrated, black and white. I had black friends, white friends, whatever. And I bring this up only because I was teased by both sides. I was getting it from both sides. I'd be in the lunchroom and sitting with people that certain people think I shouldn't be sitting with, and no matter what, I wasn't going to win. I was getting teased in the classrooms, and this is in 7th grade. And if you remember back in 7th grade, all the things you're trying to deal with yourself or trying to feel your identity and everything else. And I wasn't even playing sports. I was just starting, so to speak.
What was your favorite sport growing up, and when did you realize football was your passion?
I was in the streets playing everything. I played tennis in the street, I played hockey, baseball, basketball, and football. I told my dad I want to play this intramural Pee Wee League football, and he took me up to the practice one day, and I saw the coach there, and the coach was like, come on, Mr. Griggs, you get your son to play. And I was like, I didn't want to play, because they were practicing, and I didn't know what practice, Dad, go. And the coach came over, Coach Taylor. Never forget, he was like 6'6". And it's an intramural league. You play against other parts of Williamboro. And I didn't want to play. The coach coerced me to come, and I went over to practice, and I'm standing there, and then my dad would take a step, and he would eventually be around the corner, and I couldn't see him anymore. And I was just there now with this team of people I didn't know. So that was like the first step of it, but I think it was really just being with different people. Different kids, different cultures. And we're playing all these sports. We get on our bikes and we go for miles. We didn't have cell phones, texting where we're going. We just went. So I've been chased. I've been, I'll say jumped, okay? Things like that at a young age. I just remember just like, they're trying to intimidate you, okay? And you never forget those moments. Even at my age, you don't forget those moments, but there's no way I'm gonna sit here and tell you it was because of the money, it was because of the position or the accolades. I just did it for that. I like doing it because of the relationships. I wasn't trying to do it because I wanted you to see how good I was. I liked football. I liked it because it challenged me. And so my parents instilled upon me this perseverance of getting through. That's what I give to Marva and Gerald Griggs, my parents, and my sister Katrina, who still does that.
What was your training regimen like in high school, and how did you balance it with academics and social life?
Well, you hit on all three exactly. Academics athletics, and I call it association, the triple A's. Academics was hard. I always liked math, but English was hard, okay? Social studies was hard. Foreign language, hard. Science I liked. And if you like something, it makes it a little bit easier for you. It made it easier for me. And so I was trying to find my like, you know? And you gravitate towards things. I gravitated towards things I liked. I struggled in things I didn't like. And back then we had a 9th grade in one building and our 10th, 11th, and 12th grades in another building. Now I was getting ready to go to the big high school and go to play varsity ball or go play high school football. And we had our whole team meet, and I was with now these seniors. And I was like, man, these guys are big. These guys are running. And our coach made us run up and down the field. And everybody was tired after like 10 or 12 sprints. And everybody, I was tired too. And everybody was leaning over, you know, on their knees and bending over and on the ground. Everybody's like, oh man, how many more we got? And yelling and screaming, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. And I was saying to myself, looking around going, I don't want to look like that. I don't want to look like the guy that's bending over all the time, always out of breath. I don't want to look like that guy over there who's on the ground complaining about how he's tired. And so I said, I'm going to try to get through this sprint. At this moment, I'm not going to bend over anymore. And I didn't bend over anymore. And I remember thinking, okay, that was hard, but I'm going to not bend over. So I made that my thing in high school. You know, I'm a kid. I'm thinking, I'm not going to bend over. I'm 9th grade, 10th grade. I'm not bending over in practice. I'm not going to bend over at all. And that carried me even when I got to higher levels of playing. I'm going to be in condition, and even if I'm not going to just look tired. I'm not going to be that guy, because I looked at it as other people are doing it. Other people are getting through it. I mean, I'm going to push myself again. They don't know what I can do. And that fueled a lot of other things. So that was always good in high school for me.
To backtrack on your junior year, during that off season, what motivated you to be that player that the coaches could trust and know that you could be that guy for that team?
Probably seeing some guys that were seniors at that time. And I had a lot of people that I saw that I was like, okay, I see how he trains. And man, he's the strongest on the team, or he's the fastest on the team. But then I saw the way he associated with people, always wanting to be, you know, the most popular person in school, popular person going to the parties, popular person doing things he shouldn't be doing. I didn't want to be that. And I came into high school, I might have come in a little naive, but I came in with a little bit of fear and reverence of partying and drugs and stuff like that. It's like, I don't want to be like that. Not because it's just football, but because, I don't know, I just seen enough guys that I'm seeing them drunk and laying out on the table or doing crazy things that I just like, I don't want to be that. And it was just that way. But I was saying it, I don't want to be that, but I was like scared of becoming that. I thought that's what high school, you're going to become that. And I was always on guard of that. Now I've been at different places, parties and things where my friends, my teammates would be involved with that. And they'd offer me things and no. And they would get on me about stuff. And that carried all the way through college and carried on to other things too, where I would be there, but I'm not doing that. And that carried me.
During your high school career, was there any setbacks such as injuries or any challenges against certain teams that you struggled with?
I wasn't starting my freshman year. I wasn't starting my sophomore year. And then my junior year, that's when I started. But then my senior year, we had a strike, a teacher's strike. So we only played like 4 or 5 games. And that was it. Season was over. Somebody told me in high school that, there's a college that sent this letter that wants you to come and visit them. I was kind of like, for what? Who are they? Like, where are they? Rutgers I had heard of because it's from New Jersey. So when I was coming through those kind of ranks, having not played football a lot in high school in my senior year, I didn't think anything of going to college and playing. I wasn't trying to get a scholarship. I didn't know anything about D1, D2, D3, NAIA, forget NIL deals or anything else that's out there now. I didn't know anything. They have no idea what I can do. They have no idea on how I train or how I work. And that's what kind of motivated me a lot of times. I felt whatever you did in high school, that's how you're going to do it in college. And if you get to the next level, then you do the same thing. So it was just tell me what to do. I'm going to try to do a little bit extra. And it was easier for me to get from high school to college based on that.